Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Eagle Politics. Make sure you guys like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So, it's important that we do a mid-month prediction, and this time around I would like to kind of look into the prospects of what if the third-party vote share is higher than anticipated. It's very possible that RFK Jr. could, gain some sort of traction. Now, in terms of the third-way race polls so far, you could look at this here, because Donald Trump, he's leading by around 2 points nationally, but that lead actually expands to 4.3 percentage points when you factor in RFK Jr. And also, he is taking 15% of the popular vote according to polling, which means that technically he would qualify for the debates. Now, third-party candidates typically poll high early on, and then as time goes by, their support usually dips. The results will likely look more like the two-way race than the three-way race polls, or even the five-way race polls as well, where Kennedy is polling at roughly 12.4%, and you add in Cornel West and Jill Stein to the mix, and they're getting some votes as well, mainly from disaffected Democrats and people on the far left. So you look at that there, and it's just like, yeah, it would be important to see how this shakes out. And there's a lot of people that say, is RFK Jr. going to take more votes away from Trump or more votes away from Biden? Now, the argument that he'd be taking more votes away from Trump would be the fact that he kind of has bucked the Democrats on some issues. He may be a little bit more non-interventionist foreign policy-wise, and on top of that, he kind of somewhat is against vaccine mandates or something. And the argument that he would take more away from Biden is that, some people who don't like both but happen to lean left on certain issues like abortion would feel more comfortable voting for somebody like Kennedy. And on top of that, he was a Democrat until very recently, before he started to launch his independent bid. He's very left-wing on a lot of social issues. He's left-wing on climate issues to an extreme amount, one could argue. And on top of that, there was a lot of speculation that he would pick a right-leaning potential running mate. Some people even said Rand Paul, because he hasn't technically endorsed Trump yet, and he talked to RFK Jr. once or something like that. But either way, it seems as if he's going to go down the road of picking Nicole Shanahan, who is a lawyer, who is a self-described progressive. So if anything, that's going to solidify the fact that he's going to take more votes away from Biden than Trump. He'll take some votes away from Trump, but he'll take more away from Biden, giving Donald Trump a sizable advantage, one could say. So I wanted to fill out the electoral map. I don't think RFK Jr. is going to take any states. I don't believe that he is going to even finish second place in any jurisdiction. But still, we're going to fill this map out based on the way that these states are going. We're filling out the safe states first. We'll add Iowa, Ohio, Texas, and honestly, you could even argue Florida in this prediction right here, just because of the high third-party vote share, taking more votes away from Biden than Trump, the same way that Ross Perot arguably took votes away from Bush in the 1992 election. So you're looking at this. Trump out of the gate has 219 electoral votes already in his column. Joe Biden, he will get the western seaboard there, and he will still get a lot of these states in here. You could make the case for that. He'll probably, win Connecticut and New Jersey by slightly under 10 in this case. I think New York, the one poll had Trump down by just 7 with RFK Jr. in the mix. If he's doing well, then yeah, it's quite possible that the margin could dip overall, because Biden's not super popular there either. Hawaii's an interesting one because we don't know how it's going to shake out, but still we'll put that one as safe Biden, possibly even likely, just because of how unpopular Biden has become in Hawaii. He almost lost the Hawaii primary. He only got in like the low 60s there. So looking at this, we need to fill out the remaining states on this map. Which way will they go? Now, in the likely Republican column, you could put Georgia, you could put North Carolina. Those two would probably be in the likely column for Donald Trump here. On top of that, you could even make the case for Arizona just because Trump, he has arguably a low ceiling, but still a very high floor in the state. He very well could win it by more than 5. The polls have him winning it by more than 5 right now in this situation. So on the other hand, it doesn't really seem like we have any other safe Republican or likely Republican states. So we'll go to the likely Democrat states. Illinois is another one possibly you could see in the mix. Colorado, in this case, you could make the case that it would also be likely. So I think we should go and fill out the remainder of the states here. Now, I think that Donald Trump, if the third-party vote share is high, or as high as it possibly could go, I think he does win Maine at large, very narrowly. The one poll that has him winning Maine does show a high third-party vote share, and it's very possible that could carry him. Biden will take the first district there by a likely margin. Now, same thing with New Hampshire, same thing with Minnesota. Both of these states, I think, can go for Donald Trump and would go for Trump if the third-party vote share is high enough. They almost went for Trump in 2016. They could do it again here. Nebraska's second, also tilt Republican. So you're looking at this here. Biden, I will give Virginia very, very narrowly just because of that fact that he's got a very high floor in Northern Virginia, a lot of bureaucrats there. And even though I think the margin would narrow, I still think that Biden would go out there and win the state of Virginia. Maybe you could say lean column, lean to tilt somewhere in that margin. New Mexico, same thing. I do believe that Nevada would go for Trump by lean margin. Wisconsin would, Michigan would, and Pennsylvania also would. Just because when you add the third party to the mix, you get a lot of potential suburbanites who may have voted for Biden, don't like Donald Trump, but at the end of the day, will have to select some option. And if RFK Jr. is maxing out, that is a demographic, he can go out there and max out. Now, do I think this will be the map? Probably not in reality, because I don't think RFK Jr. is going to get double digits in terms of his final percentage. Do I think he'll get on the ballot in enough states to cause some damage for Biden? Yes, I think that Donald Trump could very well, gain a couple of points even in a state like Georgia, maybe Arizona. He could take those states back because of RFK Jr. and Biden's popularity decreasing. The combination of that could definitely help him go out there, pad his margins. He'd be winning the popular vote at that point, that we know. But beyond that, it doesn't seem like RFK Jr.'s margin is going to be that high. I don't believe he will make the debates. But do I think he takes more from Biden than Trump? Yes, which is why in this map right here, we have Donald Trump with 329 electoral votes, Joe Biden with 209. And it's possible that this map could happen just based off of the fact that there's a lot of disillusionment. Biden not doing so well in some of these primaries for a sitting president. Donald Trump, on the other hand, setting records in primary turnout, you name it. He's doing a very, very good job on that front regarding turnout. It's not the best indicator, but is it an indicator? It is an indicator, and it is an important indicator at that because it shows that Biden, his vote machine, isn't doing that well. Yeah, he's a sitting president. His primary is kind of uncontested, but at the end of the day, it's like Trump's has also been called uncontested, and Trump is still getting far higher turnout. Even in Georgia, we saw this. And back in the day, after Biden basically clinched the nomination in 2020, he was doing a lot better in a lot of these states compared to how Trump is doing than he is now. And Donald Trump is a sitting president, was setting records, and Trump now is breaking those records. Biden, he's not doing too well in the primaries for a sitting president by today's standards. And who knows if that is going to carry over in terms of the problems, but it just doesn't seem like he's moving the needle. And that's why you have RFK Jr., Jill Stein, Cornel West. They possibly could come in and take a lot of these votes away, especially the latter two, West and Stein, regarding the whole Israeli-Palestinian conflict. A lot of younger voters not too happy about Biden. Every single move he makes, they're upset with it because he's not caving to all their demands. So that's another thing he has to deal with. And Donald Trump, he's got his own base. Just got to stay on message, keep doing what he's doing, and hit Biden where it hurts. And then he'll be able to go out there and win this thing come November. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Like this video down below, comment down below, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Red Eagle, out.